Welcome to our weekly Communities of Practice Sunday check-in session. My name is Katya and I'm a member of the Communities of Practice team. I hope everyone has had a good week, and I welcome you all to a half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connection. It is customary for us in Australia to begin any meeting by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. I would like to start today by acknowledging the Dharawal people as the traditional owners of the land on which Nan Tien Institute resides. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you all are, and I pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. The check-in sessions have been developed by our Community of Practice team and community. In 2018-2019, we ran a number of community days and then began these weekly check-in sessions in October 2020. The purpose of these events were as outlined here, guided by humanistic Buddhism to develop and cultivate our practice and friendships. Now, more than ever, the practice has become vital, and the purpose of today is exactly that. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Jonathan Page, who is a lecturer at Nan Tien Institute, a medical oncologist and a valued member of the community.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Katja. And a warm welcome to everybody, and thank you for joining us from the 10 directions. I hope you've enjoyed a week of discipline, but also self-compassion, and have made some progress on your path. Now, everyone, no matter how experienced, encounters one of the 5 hindrances, the Panca Nivaranani, virtually every day, whether meditating or simply living. Now, these are mental factors that sometimes have physical and emotional aspects, and they obstruct our path to tranquility, to shamatha, and insight, vipassana, and awakening, and thereby cause everybody much suffering. One or more always lurks nearby. We should thus be vigilant. Hindrances can be the cause of tremendous struggle, or sometimes valuable fuel for the growth of insight. Nivaranana means covering. So these hindrances cover over the clarity of our mind and our ability to be mindful and wise. And they may cover over deeper issues like loneliness, inadequacy, and fear. Indeed, they reflect the components of dukkha itself, greed, anger, and delusion. They are the fuel of avidya or avidya, which is ignorance of anatta, anicca, and dukkha. So the 5 hindrances include sensory or sensual desire, and we'll focus on that today, ill will or aversion, sloth, torpor, and boredom, restlessness and worry, and finally doubt. And I'm sure you're familiar with all of these. Now, with sensual desire, this requires that we simply want immediate happiness during the meditation, or even during life, or relief from discomfort through stimulation of our 5 senses. This may be as simple as an itch, wanting a cup of tea, or ringing a friend, but this hindrance may be deeper and arise from a personal difficulty, deficiency, loneliness, a deep need, clinging, depression, uncertainty, and so on. Sometimes we may simply catch ourselves saying, if only I had this or that, I would be happy. The energy of craving and the habit of wanting can be so strong that they may cut off all the joy that we have at our natural completeness. In the Nivarana Sutra, the Hindrance Sutra, the Buddha says, bhikkhus, these 5 hindrances are destroyers of sight, vision, and knowledge. They block wisdom. They're on the side of anguish, and they don't lead to enlightenment. He also recommends the Noble Eightfold Path should be developed for the direct knowledge, complete understanding, finishing and giving up on these five hindrances. So what can we do? Well, thankfully, there's much we can do. So with mindfulness and careful attention, we can identify the first sign of a hindrance and thus avoid reactivity or judgment, particularly self-judgment. We turn to the hindrance to face the hindrance, and that's where we find the royal road to freedom. And one way to deal with our hindrances, which I found very useful, is to use BELLA, B-E-L-L-A, which is an acronym. And this is very helpful in dealing with the hindrances. So if we look at BELLA, so the B stands for being with. So letting the hindrance be, not approving it, and we should not engage with it. We simply step back, we give it space, we simplify the relationship. And then the E stands for explore. So we investigate. We study every detail of our relationship with this hindrance. We note any physical sensations or emotions. We might see right through the hindrance and exclaim, Mara, I see you. For Mara is often behind these hindrances. The L, the first L stands for lessen. So we lessen the intensity, we relax, soften the tension. We may need to get up and walk or have a shower, and we should try and experience self-compassion. The second L stands for let go, but we let go with wisdom. So we choose the right time to let go, to avoid recurrence. And we know that these hindrances come and they go. They will always go. And finally, A, we should appreciate the lessening of the intensity of this hindrance so that we can move on. We enjoy the sweetness, the ease, the peace, the beauty that follows with a clear, luminous mind. And we recognize our new radiant self. So now let's enjoy a short period of reflection and meditation together. And you might even notice a hindrance to practice on. So gently shut your eyes and let them soften. Enjoy the quietness and begin to relax. And you might notice any particular tension at this moment and focus on that. So relax your forehead and your cheeks and your lips, and now all the facial muscles. And now relax your neck muscles. Sometimes at this time you may want to place your open hand on your heart as a sign of self-compassion. So now relax your shoulders and your upper arms and your lower arms and your hands and your fingers, including the thumbs. And now relax your back muscles and let a wave of softness move downward from the back of your neck all the way down to your bottom. And relax your thighs and your calf muscles and all the way down to your feet and toes. And of course, you can wiggle the toes. And now we feel the whole body relax, completely relax. Now take your attention to the tip of your nose, to the nostrils, and watch the spontaneous rhythm of your wonderful breath. Notice the air moving in through the nostrils, feeling cool and sharp, and filling the lungs. And then notice the air leaving the lungs. And we start to notice the rhythm of the breath. So let's just follow that rhythm of our breath, breathing in and out for the next minute. So now when you're ready, you can open your eyes, return to the moment. And Katja will explain about the breakout groups that will follow.
So what's going to happen next is that we will be placed in groups of 3 or 4 for 15 minutes or so, and we will have an opportunity to meet new friends, connect with old friends, and share the question of today, which is about hindrances that we experience. And we'd recommend spending a little bit of time getting to know each other and then discussing an incident in the past week, an episode of sensory hindrance that you experienced. There will be some prompts through the chat box to guide you, but feel free to let the flow of your discussion guide you as well. Okay. Our session today are guided by metta, which is unconditional love and kindness for all sentient beings. Let's use these breakout sessions to express, practice, receive loving kindness to and from one another. Take time to pause, to share, and to listen. And we'll also ask you to share some of your findings with the larger group at the end of their breakout rooms.
Yes, well, I think we've been trying to develop a different relationship or attitude to hindrances so that we can almost welcome them because they turn up, often disguised, but there they are. And if we expect them and see them, then we can prepare. And we can prepare by not being judgmental, expecting to learn something. And yeah, this is wise, Dean. Take a break from intensity and prepare. Yeah, well, I think that's good, where sometimes the hindrance is not of a scale where we need to spend much time on it. But I think we can be suspicious. It can try and transform into something if we relax too much. And of course, the vowels are very much related to our capacity to deal with hindrances because they're providing a deeper strength. Yes, I like that idea of as messengers. I think that's very wise. They've come to tell us something and with a message, sometimes even an instruction telling us what we should do to become wiser. And drink tea before the meditation. Yeah, well, that's very wise. I mean, sometimes you decide I'm going to have that cup of tea for the greater good, because then I'll be more sustained and we'll have a more productive meditation. You just know that it's the right thing. But I think we'll conclude the session now, Katja.
So yes, as Jonathan said, you can continue sharing your thoughts in the chat box. And we do hope that the check-in was helpful to you and that you experienced the loving kindness of the community as it is offered here today. And for anyone who might be experiencing a greater need that what today could meet, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us at the email provided here. You are also very welcome to invite your friends and family who may benefit from our community. Also, I'd like to remind that registrations are open still for the event called Disruptive Technology, to be held on Sunday, 18th of April at 11 a.m. And it will be a different link to the one that we usually use for the Sunday check-in sessions. So please go to communities.nantien.edu.au to register. And if you have not met the new president of Nantien Institute, Professor Dennis Kirkpatrick, you will hear a few minutes of welcome from her at this workshop. And as we check into April, into the new month, would like to ask you to reflect for a moment and send thoughts and to the loved ones and friends and strangers who may need some care and healing. May they feel the warmth, strength, and love of this community as we recite the dedication of merits together.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you so much for everyone for joining us. And for those who have time, we will be having our usual post-check-in discussions now, and do stay around if you have time. So otherwise, we will be back next week at 11 a.m. So I look forward to seeing you all there.